What's up everybody, I am Jaspreet Singh and welcome to the Minority Mindset. You might have seen a debate going around on social media with a meme that asks, who's wealthier? George, who has $10,000 in his bank account but is $1 million in debt because he has a mortgage on a big home, he drives a fancy car which he financed, and he owns a very nice watch which is also financed. Or on the other hand, Nancy, who has $500,000 in her bank account but she has no debt because she lives in a smaller home and she drives a used car and she wears a cheap watch. Interesting question, and I think it's something that a lot of people ask themselves, so I went and I read the comments and of course they were interesting. They ranged from, well, who's happier, to, well, you're gonna die anyways so you might as well live your life, to my personal favorite. These things that George owns, like his big house and his fancy car and his watch, are all investments, so they will make George richer. Let's start from the top. The question asks, who's wealthier? Not who's happier or who's living their dream. It's a straightforward financial question. You know, you're not gonna go to a workout video on YouTube and watch a guy doing squats and ask, why aren't you talking about investing in real estate? I mean, it's a workout video, right? So this is a financial question. To really answer this question, we need some more information, so I'll give it to you. George and Nancy both work the same job. They're both vice presidents at a big engineering firm and they both make $200,000 a year, and like the majority of people, they don't have any other investments or investment seeds and they don't have any other streams of income. It's just their job. The only difference between the two is how rich they look. Lots of people, and I would say the majority of people, would rather be in George's shoes because he has money in the bank and he's making good money and he has all the nice things. So what's the problem? I mean, who cares if he has $1 million in debt if he's making money? That's a good point, and conveniently, Bankrate.com recommends that you should make $200,000 a year to comfortably support $1 million worth of debt at a 4% interest rate. How did that conveniently just happen to add up in this example? I don't know. Now, let's look at their finances. And if we want to be painfully realistic, first things first, if you're working a job, the first thing you have to do is pay your taxes. So let's subtract the federal income taxes, FICA taxes, state taxes, and local taxes depending on where you live. And you know what? I'm gonna be nice. Let's say they're only paying 5.75% a year in state taxes and no local city taxes. So George and Nancy are not living in New York or California, and this means they will be paying right around $63,717 a year in their income taxes, which brings their money left over from $200,000 to right around $136,000. After you pay your taxes, the next person you have to pay is your banker, because if you don't, you won't have a place to sleep anymore. Because here's a little secret. Your bank doesn't feel bad if you can't pay your bills. George has $1 million worth of consumer debt, and because I'm being such a nice guy today, let's say he's only paying 4% a year in interest for all of his consumer debt, and it's amortized over 30 years. That means he has to pay $4,800 a month to keep all of his nice things like his big house, his car, and his watch. But what's the big deal? They're investments, right? Nancy, on the other hand, does not have to pay this $4,800 monthly expense because she doesn't have any debt. And I hope that Nancy will start investing in investment seeds instead of just saving all of her money, but I guess I can't really debate with internet memes. So to recap where we are, George and Nancy both started with $200,000 a year in income, which is $17,000 a month, and then they both had to pay their taxes, which brought them both down to $11,300 a month, and then George had to pay his banker, which leaves him with $6,500 a month, and Nancy still has $11,300 a month for her to use for whatever she wants. Now, I don't know exactly what they're gonna do with all that extra money. I know they have to eat and they have to pay for all their expenses and their utilities and their travel and their entertainment and all of that, but I hope that they will start investing in investment seeds. But again, I can't debate with a meme. See, Jaspreet, this is why it's better to live George's lifestyle. He has all the nice things and he's driving a sick car and he still has money left over every single month. I mean, come on, man, prove me wrong now. Okay, how about this? George and Nancy were walking to work last week and they got hit by a bus. Oh my god, so sad, I did not see that coming, and now neither of them can work. Or, if you don't want to be so dramatic, their company started having financial problems and they had to lay off George and Nancy's department, and now neither of them have a job. Now, George and Nancy do not have income coming in, but they still have expenses to pay and mouths to feed. Sure, George and Nancy can start cutting out all the luxuries in life, you know, no more eating out, no more Netflix, none of that anymore because of this devastating news that I'm so shocked to hear and I'm so sad about. But remember, they do have some savings. George has $10,000 saved up and Nancy has $500,000 saved up, and I hope that Nancy will finally start to do something with their money instead of just saving it. And because this is a hypothetical and because I'm making this video, let's say Nancy takes $400,000 out of her $500,000 saved up and she invests it. You know, you don't want to invest everything. You want to have some money saved for emergencies like this. This way she has money for food and, you know, whatever else she needs, like Netflix, I don't know. But she takes that $400,000 and then she goes out and she buys an investment property. And let's say this investment property gives her a 10% return on her money every year. That would be $40,000 of income every single year during her time of being laid off. Since George only has $10,000 in savings, he can't do too much with it because he still has to pay his bills and he still has to eat and all of that. But at least he has a whole bunch of investments like his big house and his nice car. But wait, he doesn't really own these things, right? George's big house and his fast car and his nice watch don't pay him to own these things. He has to pay to keep these things. They're not investments. They just look cool. So now, not only does George have to pay for food and water and other things that he needs to survive, but he also has to pay the bank $4,800 a month every single month, whether or not he has a job. And since he only has $10,000 saved up, he might be getting a foreclosure notice pretty soon, unless he goes back to work this afternoon, while Nancy, on the other hand, is kind of chilling during her time without a job. And because Nancy has this cushion, I hope that she will use this time to think about starting a business or investing her money. The real sign of wealth is not how you look when times are good. It's how you can thrive when times are bad. And just so we're on the same page, there's nothing wrong with wanting to buy nice things or buying nice things. You just gotta make sure that you can afford it first. That way you don't have to worry about losing it when times go bad. And in case you do want to learn more about investing or how it works, we have an ebook on money and investing, and you can read it for free when you sign up for our money and finance newsletter. And you can do that by clicking the link up here or by clicking the link in the description below. So now that you've heard my argument, what would you do? The George way or the Nancy way or something different? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed the video, hit that thumbs up button and share it with one friend so we can help spread the word. Don't miss our new videos on entrepreneurship, business, and money every Wednesday and Friday at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. That way you actually find out when our new videos are released. And as always, keep hustling.